In this segment, I'm going to demonstrate the use of Excel in performing regression analysis. In order to illustrate how to use Excel to perform regression, I'm going to use exercise 2-10. If you look at exercise 2-10 on page 56, it really asks us to perform scatter graph analysis as well as the high-low method. We learned that the least squares regression method gives us a more precise, accurate cost function formula. So in doing so, if you look at page 56, you'll see the Zerbal Company, a wholesaler of large custom-built air conditioning units, has shipping expense. And on a monthly basis from January through July, we're giving their shipping cost as well as the number of units they've shipped. We are told that this shipping cost is a mixed cost. We therefore need to determine its variable cost per unit as well as its total fixed cost. In doing so, we're going to use least squares regression, and what we're going to do is take that information that's given in the book and load it into an Excel spreadsheet. And you can see down the left side here we have the months January through July with the respective units shipped per month and the total shipping expense per month. You'll notice that I've labeled the units shipped as the X variable and the total shipping expense as the Y variable. Reason being is the Y variable represents the dependent variable. X represents the independent variable. Y is dependent. If you look at this situation, total shipping expense is dependent upon the number of units shipped, and therefore its shipping expense would be considered the dependent variable. Now, in order to perform this regression analysis, I've gone down and typed in intercept, slope, and R-square. Intercept represents the fixed cost. Slope represents the variable cost per unit. R-square represents the goodness of fit. Really represents the strength of using this equation to separate the variable from the fixed cost. We want that R-square to be as close to 1 as possible. The intercept. To calculate the intercept, we click on the cell anywhere as it relates to intercept, and I go into formulas in my Excel spreadsheet. I scroll over to more functions. I go to statistical, and I just scroll down to intercept. It's in alphabetical order. I select intercept, and so you can see here I have a template for my Y data and a template for my X data. All I do for my Y data is highlight the cells that have the Y variables in them, and then I select the X. Alright, just by highlighting, pointing, and clicking, dragging down, and I then have the X and the Y's. I then click OK, and I have $1,010.71 is the intercept. In other words, the fixed cost on a monthly basis. The slope, we've done the same way. Go to formulas, more functions, statistical, scroll down to slope, and once again, point and click, drag, get our X variable C6 to C12. You could type this in. Much easier just to point and click. We get our B variables in, click OK, and we have a B variable of $317.86, the slope. In other words, the variable cost per unit. The R-square, done much the same way. You go to formulas, more functions, statistical, scroll down to R-square, and once again, just highlight our Y variables, then put the cursor in the X template, get the X variables, click OK, and we have an R-square of 0.96. Very close to 1. We are comfortable with this equation. Therefore, our cost function, based on what we have, is Y equals $1,010.71 plus $317.86 multiplied by X. X being the number of units shipped, we could substitute any number of units in that equation and come up with what our predicted shipping cost would be for that particular month. This ends our segment in demonstrating the use of excel in performing regression analysis.